Hello everyone and welcome to Crypto Atlas, but wait, don't go anywhere if you guys are new to the channel. Yes, I cover AMC stocks. I've been covering AMC stocks now for a decent amount of time. I am a big supporter of this movement, but I also do talk about cryptocurrencies. If you guys support AMC, you want to see more information on this, and maybe if you're curious about cryptocurrency stuff, feel free to hit subscribe. Feel free to hit the thumbs up, like button. It does help us out in the YouTube search algorithm. And feel free to leave a comment down below. I am trying to see if that is going to help with the YouTube search algorithm if we get more people talking. So even if you just want to say hi, it's kind of a little test. I'm doing this with my other crypto video that I posted for today as well. And yeah, just keep in mind, I'm not a financial advisor. Everything I'm sharing is my own opinion. It's my own research. And I highly encourage you guys to do your own research as well. So let's go ahead and roll on into this. Today, AMC took a bit of a hit, guys. It did drop down below 10% at one point, which triggers the SSR. And it has actually pulled up just a little bit here, closing out on the daily at down 9.79%. In the after hours, it has dropped down further. Where we are currently seeing it in the post market is right along the line of the 0.236 on the Fibonacci sequence. With this substantial drop taking place, we now have 3 days of instances that shows below the level of support here for the original symmetrical triangle. This signifies, at least on that pattern, a bearish sign, suggesting that we have more bearish trends to follow, more likely than not. Again, I'm a big supporter of the movement. I'm just letting you guys know what the technical analysis is saying, okay? However, after we had the first major drop, I then drew a second line for support, which is this yellow line, suggesting that we could potentially still have a further extension out in the symmetrical triangle pattern. By doing so with that, we only have 1 day of closure that's actually below that line, which is the day for today. There's some interesting things that happened today, which suggests to me that there very well could be more shenanigans that are happening, and I want to go ahead and go over that with you guys. So first off, please keep in mind that AMC is still on the thresholds list. So as far as these margin calls go, we could potentially see something as early as tomorrow. And I think that there's actually a higher probability that that's going to be rolling out and enforced more around the 15th or 16th of this month. So we still have potentially another week or so to have to wait and see what goes on there. With the establishment here in the Fibonacci sequence, I would like to see how this moves as far as tomorrow goes. We do have still very low volume. You can see it just slightly picked up, but it's by comparison to a lot of these other days, very substantially low. We actually saw volume on the daily at 94.319 million. The average volume in the last 10 days looks like it was at 79.85 million, so just barely up. And if this can manage to break up above the 0.382 level, that's going to be right around the $50 range, which makes sense. $50 showing a key psychological level for a lot of different reasons here. According to the Stonk O tracker, we can see that there are 1.2 million shares available to borrow. There are 3.4 million approximately ETF shares available to borrow. And for this Friday, we currently have 11,309 calls in the money that will be expiring. We want to see how those are going to be continuing to play out. Take a look over at the dark pool. We can see 302 million shares being traded. These are the positions identified over here. And that number has been progressively going down, which is interesting to note. But please keep in mind as well that we are seeing volume overall decreasing as far as for a standard rate being shown here, but it actually increased for today. So the fact that the stock grid is showing that on the dark pool, the amount went down compared to the previous day. But here on the traditional charts, we're seeing that the volume went up. Seems like there's a lot of bizarre things that are going on. I want to highlight this post by Kong posting over on Twitter. He said, "What we are seeing today is the most aggressive and artificial suppression I've witnessed to date. Almost feels like a Hail Mary sort of play. Please see the thread." This one is the obvious outlier. Maybe we're reading this Webull global metric incorrectly, but I fail to see how more inflow than outflow results in a deep red state. As you guys can see here, the inflow is 808.66. The outflow is 783.71. Large is actually lower than the other large for the inflow, so there's more outflow in the large. And I can understand the standard mentality of this guy is like, hey, if there's more medium and small shares, okay, you can lean towards that size. But if there's more large shares, a large share could be very, very big, obviously, for that metric, right? And all it takes is like one big, large sale to basically supersede everything else. However, there's something somebody else posted, which I'll be talking about here in a second to show you by comparison. And to me, that looks very substantial in difference. Number 2, can only share a public tracker rather than my proprietary, but our Twitter sentiment is overwhelmingly skewed towards positive by a large margin. There's little panic or FUD from apes. Apes are positive. Apes own most of the float. So again, how are we deep red? You know, it has been shown that we own most of the stock. Over 80%. Number 3, stock prices are based on what people think the stock is worth. Sure, but more importantly, what people think the stock will be worth. Various bullish sweeps in the AMC option market this week with calls outnumbering puts. How red? Number 4, AMC announced dilution is off the ballot. Adam Aaron cleared FUD about possibly working with Citadel. AMC announces a major change in operations to showcase UFC events. F9, which is Fast and Furious 9, blowing the effing back out of the box office. A effing Marvel movie coming out this week. How red? Please understand that this price is psychological. Understand that it's temporary. Apes aren't abandoning you or giving up. We are still buying. We are holding our ground. We will not be fooled. Stay the course. I bought another share today, right before market close, just so you guys are aware. I'm supporting the movement, guys. So check this out. Stonk Life Prison posted, Fidelity is tracking 18,570 buy orders versus 9,518 sell orders. So that's essentially twice as much buying as there is selling that's going on. This is where I think also a very interesting capture. This is from Kyle. Took these at the same time yesterday. One is RCAT, for an example. Looks to me like AMC should be green. So here we go. This is AMC. Let's go ahead and start with the RCAT. So taking a look at RCAT and what they had screenshotted here, we can see the inflow 16.23, outflow 12.81. So we've seen the same thing over here with AMC. 644 and then outflow is 625. So there's more inflow than there is outflow. Let's go back to RCAT. RCAT had for the inflow, the large was less for the inflow. So the outflow is higher there. However, for medium and small, there was more inflow for RCAT. RCAT was up 38.97%. So even though there was more large that was on the outflow side here, the medium and smalls were higher on inflow, and it was up substantially, 38.97%. When you take a look at AMC here, we can see the same format, exactly the same format. Look at this. Inflow is less for the large side for AMC. However, inflow is larger for the medium and small. Yet instead of being up 38%, 38.97%, it was down negative 3.08%. That just seems really, really odd to me, guys. And I think it's sending up huge red signals for a lot of people. The short interest rate is also up, which means that shorts are still not covering. They're adding to their positions. This is absolutely bizarre. Let's see how things continue to move forward with the threshold securities list, guys. And I'm going to go and wrap up the video there. I do have referral links in the description. So if you want to get free cryptocurrencies or you want to get free stocks, then definitely feel free to check out those links, guys. It's free money for you. Let me know in the comments how you feel about everything that's going on for today, what your thoughts are that could potentially end up taking place tomorrow, and if we're going to start seeing some of those executions soon for the margin calls. You just want to say hello, anything like that, feel free to hit subscribe. If you're new, hit the thumbs up, like button, and share the video on social media. Thank you, guys. I will see you in the next episode.